so that they feel loved. All right. So now, you guys, this is the good part here. What you guys don't do chairs, you use the word couples. Couples. And, again, sorry, I should have used bookmarks or something like this on here. Also, he mentions that research is showing this, even in secular research, the couples that last have love and respect. Love and respect. Love and respect. And he says that, when a man, so here's the cycle. So a woman, if she feels unloved, what her natural tendency is going to be is to criticize or complain. She's going to criticize or complain. And that's actually her attempt to receive love. But most men naturally, when they hear their wife criticizing or complaining, they receive it as contempt. They receive it as disrespect. And so it then sets them off of, if you're just going to complain or just going to criticize, and then they draw away. And what was the woman trying to do by criticizing and complaining? She was trying to draw near. But we naturally respond by pulling back. And so you can see how this is just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so now we're back over here. Flipping the light, flipping the light, flipping the light. Until, I don't know, you both go to bed angry or something. Whatever it is. But there is a way out. There's a way out. All right, so couple. Again, sorry about this. I'm used to just kind of having two hands, so I do apologize. All right, so it's actually just couple. So here is what she is needing. So it's C-O-U-P-L-E. Closeness, openness, understanding, peacemaking, loyalty, and esteem. Closeness, openness, understanding, peacemaking, loyalty, and esteem. And it starts with here, and it says the biggest thing that women really want is connectivity. They want to connect. They want to connect. There's a big lie going around that women are hard to understand. They're not. It's just hard to live in that way of where if you are not naturally tending towards these things, then that's where it's difficult. That's where you call the battle of the sexes, right? But it's actually pretty easy to figure out. Every woman wants tender, loving affection. That's it. Whether they're little girls, whether they're teenagers, whether they're women, even grandmas. I just anointed a woman who's on her deathbed tonight, and I was trying to be tender, loving, and affectionate. And that's what their heart desires. And so they feel loved. They feel loved. All right. So the first one, closeness. Closeness. It says she wants to be close to you. Now you can go through this and read this section, but you can just imagine that that's the primary thing. Even if you can only remember C, it's like, what's the first thing? Couple. C, closeness. How do you be close to her? It says that there's something about them that they even want you to just sort of dwell in their space. That when you come home from work, and maybe she's in the kitchen or doing something with the kids or something, they just want you to come and just kind of be in their space. Just kind of dwell with them. They want to be close. They want to be close. And with that, I actually, so here's where providence kicks in. I'm going to use my phone here. So this concept of closeness, some of you may be naturally good at that. Some of you may not be naturally good at that. Some men are, some men aren't. That could be issues of temperament, that could be issues of ethnicity, that could be issues of family of origin, country of origin, all kinds of stuff like that. Some guys are more naturally warm and affectionate, some guys aren't. regardless of where you are and where you naturally fall into that, closeness and any of these abilities to relate can be learned. Anything can be learned, even how to relate. And so what I came across, a buddy of mine, he sent me an article today from the New York Times. Now, first of all, I never recommend the New York Times. Don't ever read it, it's trash, okay? All right. However, this one time, there's this woman, and she wrote an article. Gosh. All right, I'm gonna hurry up. So she wrote this article, and it was called How to Fall in Love with Anyone. And what she did is, it turns out there was a doctor, a psychologist, several decades ago, and he had this theory. He said, we can make any two people fall in love, and we're gonna try it. And so they tried it, and they took two strangers, and they brought them into a room, and here's what they did, is they asked them 37 questions. They each had to ask and answer 37 questions, and then at the end, they had to stare into each other's eyes silently for 4 minutes. And it worked. 6 months later, those two strangers got married. And so this woman finds out about it, and she's like, well, I want to try that. Let's try that, you know? So she meets one of her friends, male friends, and they go to a bar, and they're like, okay, let's try this thing. Let's see what happens. And so they asked each other these different questions. And you can go on here, and it's, his last name is Aaron, A-R-O-N. And you can find the list of questions. But some of them are very simple. So imagine this. Imagine just going home and saying, given your choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? What would constitute a perfect day for you? When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else? Okay, so there's those. Then it gets a little bit more progressive. It says, is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? What's your most treasured memory? How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Don't tell them how you feel about their mother. Just let them respond. Then there's some other ones. Oh, it's, share an embarrassing moment. When was the last time that you cried in front of another person or by yourself? And then they keep asking more and more questions. And then you start saying things like, what do you admire about this other person? And what they found was that just sitting and talking, it wasn't just that I'm revealing myself to the other person. It wasn't just that the other person's revealing themselves to me. It's that there was some kind of there was like a second step. It was like I'm revealing myself to someone who is revealing themselves to me. And that seemed to make a huge difference. And I think that that's a good example in my mind, because when I hear, closeness, women want closeness, it's maybe hard to get an example of that. But thinking about I'm sharing with someone who's sharing, I think that's the key to that issue of closeness. How do we draw close to each other? And it just so happens, so this same woman who wrote the article, she also fell in love with the guy. So some of you are already in love. Maybe you need a little boost. Some of you maybe need a big boost. But the point of this is that there's so many resources out there. All you have to do is start experimenting a little bit and just trying. Just try it a little bit. Just try it a little bit. We're kind of prone to go out and tune the engine and make the engine work just right, and we can sit with our head under the hood for hours or on the computer, and kind of making it just right. But you can do the same thing with relationships. You just kind of keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. All right, and it says the more that she feels loved, the more that she's going to act respectful to you. All right, let me go through these real quick, and then I want to give you the highlight. Okay, so closeness. She wants to be close to you. Openness. She wants you to open up to her. Okay? That's mostly going to happen with words. So open up. Understanding. Don't try to fix her, just listen. Now you see how that relates to the one about, remember the men? We want her to appreciate our desire to fix and to analyze and to counsel. But what she really needs, though, is the understanding and not just our ability to fix and to counsel. Peacemaking, this is easy, guys. She wants you to say, I'm sorry. So we're gonna practice that. So just imagine you're somebody else and you've made a mistake. And we're gonna say, I'm sorry. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. Okay, that didn't sound like you meant it at all. All right, let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. Okay. Anybody die? Anybody? Any deaths? Fatalities? Wonderful. Good. You can do that. Okay, loyalty. She needs to know you're committed. She needs to know you're committed. Esteem, and she wants you to honor and cherish her. To honor and cherish her. Again, it goes back to the tender affection. Okay, so let's get to this last part here.